They say your body is like a finely tuned instrument playing the symphony of your life. But after 65, this instrument starts sending subtle signals that many ignore until it's too late. Have you ever woken up feeling tired, even after a full night's sleep? Or noticed your legs cramping out of nowhere? These aren't just random occurrences. They're your body whispering secrets about what it needs. And if you don't listen now, you might pay for it later. I've seen it firsthand in my 80 years of life. Friends, family, even myself, learning the hard way that the little signs our body gives us after 65 are anything but little. But today, I'm going to make sure you don't miss a thing. So grab a pen and paper, or better yet, save this video for later, because what I'm about to share could genuinely extend your life, or at the very least, improve its quality. This isn't advice you'll find in every health book. This is wisdom gathered from decades of experience and from seeing what works and what doesn't. Today, we'll dive into what your body is trying to tell you after 65, and how you can listen to it in a way that transforms your golden years into your best years. Getting older is a privilege. It's a stage of life where we have the chance to reflect on what really matters, family, experiences, and the wisdom we've gained along the way. But let's face it, aging comes with its own set of challenges. After 65, your body becomes your greatest teacher, constantly communicating what it needs from you to stay healthy and vibrant. The only question is, are you paying attention? I've learned through my own journey and observing others that the key to thriving in your later years isn't about chasing perfection. It's about awareness. Those small aches, changes in energy, or even sudden mood shifts, they're not just old age. They're messages, and if you listen carefully, they can guide you to a life filled with more energy, better health, and fewer regrets. Today, we're going to decode these messages together. From understanding the importance of hydration to recognizing the signs of hidden stress. This isn't about fear, it's about empowerment. Because the more you know, the better equipped you'll be to make choices that keep you feeling alive and well. By the end of this, you won't just feel more informed, you'll feel confident in managing your health. So let's get into it, because there's so much your body wants to tell you. And trust me, it's worth listening. Why am I so tired all the time? If you've asked yourself this question recently, you're not alone. Fatigue after 65 is more than just feeling sleepy. It's your body's way of waving a red flag. Now I know what some of you might be thinking, I'm just getting old. But that's not the whole story. Fatigue often has underlying causes, like poor sleep quality, lack of nutrients, or even dehydration. Did you know that as we age, our bodies don't signal thirst as strongly as they used to? You might think you're drinking enough water, but you're likely not. A glass of water can sometimes feel like magic when you're feeling sluggish. I remember a time when I thought my constant tiredness was just normal. Then a doctor asked me about my diet. Turns out I wasn't getting enough B vitamins or iron. A simple adjustment, adding leafy greens, beans, and a B12 supplement, gave me more energy than I'd felt in years. The key is to notice patterns. Are you waking up tired no matter how much you sleep? Are your energy levels crashing mid-afternoon? It might mean your body needs something specific: better nutrition, more movement, or a little TLC. Here's a simple action step. Start keeping a daily energy log. Write down when you feel most tired and what you've eaten or done that day. Within a week, you'll start to notice trends. From there, it's easier to make small but powerful changes. Do you find yourself eating less than you used to, or even skipping meals entirely? That might seem harmless, but after 65, changes in appetite can hint at bigger issues. It could be something as simple as changing taste buds, or as complex as underlying health problems. I remember visiting my friend Robert, who told me, "John, food just doesn't excite me anymore." Turns out, he was dealing with mild depression, something he hadn't even realized. After talking to his doctor and joining a local walking group, his appetite returned. Here's what you can do. Pay attention to the why. Are you skipping meals because you're not hungry, or is it harder to prepare food? If it's the latter, consider meal prep services or asking a loved one for help. Sometimes simplifying meals with nutrient-dense options like smoothies or soups can work wonders. "Oh, it's just part of getting older," people often say. But let me tell you, persistent aches and pains are not something you should just accept. Whether it's that nagging back pain, stiff knees, or an ache in your hands, your body is trying to tell you something important. For me, it was my lower back. I thought it was just from years of sitting in a chair reading books. But when the pain started interfering with my daily walks, I knew I had to act. A visit to the doctor revealed early signs of arthritis, and I was given specific exercises to manage it. It didn't just reduce the pain, it gave me my mobility back. The same goes for you. That shoulder ache? It might be a signal that you're overusing certain muscles or even dealing with inflammation. And don't forget that stiffness can sometimes be eased with simple stretches, hydration, and yes, a little movement. One small step you can take today. Start with 5 minutes of gentle stretching each morning. Focus on the areas that feel tight or sore. It's amazing how much this can help over time. This one might surprise you, but dramatic changes in weight, whether gaining or losing, are not normal after 65. They're usually a sign that your body is trying to adjust to something. I once met a woman at a community event who shared how she'd lost 20 pounds in 2 months. Turns out, she had an overactive thyroid, something she hadn't even thought about. On the flip side, unexplained weight gain can be a sign of hormonal changes, water retention, or even a slowdown in metabolism. I know a gentleman who gained nearly 15 pounds in a year and blamed it on bad knees. After seeing a doctor, he learned it was partly due to medication side effects and changes in his diet. Here's a practical tip. Keep a food and activity journal for 2 weeks. It's not about dieting, but about understanding your habits. Are you eating more snacks because of boredom? Or skipping meals only to binge later? Identifying these patterns can make all the difference. You know, when I was younger, I didn't think much about my skin beyond a little sunburn now and then. But as I got older, I started noticing changes, dry patches, discoloration, and even small spots that seemed harmless at first. For a while, I brushed it off, thinking, "Oh, it's just age." But then I learned how much your skin can reveal about your overall health. For instance, dry, flaky skin can be a sign of dehydration or even thyroid issues. Bruising easily might mean your blood vessels are becoming fragile or that you're low on vitamins. And let's not forget about those tiny, dark spots that can pop up. They're often harmless, but should be checked for any changes in size or color. I remember visiting my dermatologist last year, who caught a small mole that turned out to be precancerous. Early detection made all the difference, and I'm grateful I didn't ignore it. Since then, I've made it a habit to examine my skin once a month, looking for anything unusual. One simple habit to adopt today. Keep your skin moisturized. A good, fragrance-free lotion after your shower can do wonders for hydration. And don't underestimate the power of sunscreen, even if you're only heading out to the garden. Let me tell you something I wish I'd paid more attention to in my 50s, my gut health. When I was younger, I could eat anything and everything without giving it a second thought. Fast food, spicy dishes, late-night snacks, you name it. But after 65, my body started giving me subtle hints that things weren't working the same way anymore. For example, bloating and indigestion became more frequent. I chalked it up to getting older. But then I learned that these symptoms could mean something deeper, like reduced enzyme production or even an intolerance to certain foods. Once, I spent a week feeling exhausted and nauseous, only to discover that my beloved morning cereal was causing an issue with gluten sensitivity I'd never had before. Another sign I noticed was irregularity. It turns out that as we age, our digestive system slows down, and staying hydrated, eating enough fiber, and even gentle exercise can make a world of difference. I started incorporating more fruits, vegetables, and whole grains into my diet, and I can't tell you how much better I felt within weeks. Here's a tip. If you're having persistent issues, like discomfort or changes in your bowel habits, don't hesitate to talk to your doctor. Sometimes it's as simple as tweaking your diet or adding a probiotic to support your gut health. Your digestive system is your body's way of communicating with you, so listen closely. It can save you a lot of discomfort and worry. Let me tell you a story about something I took for granted most of my life: my vision. Back in my younger days, I had the sharpest eyesight. Reading small print, driving at night, spotting a bird far off in the distance, it was effortless. But as I got older, the small, subtle changes began creeping in. At first, it was holding the newspaper a little farther away. Then, night driving became more challenging with the glare of headlights. One day, I ignored an eye exam thinking, I don't need it yet. But when I finally went in, I was diagnosed with the early stages of cataracts. I had no idea that conditions like macular degeneration, glaucoma, or even dry eyes could develop without you even noticing until they become serious. Here's what I've learned. Regular eye checkups after 65 are non-negotiable. Doctors can spot signs of issues before they affect your daily life. And something as simple as wearing UV protective sunglasses can prevent sun damage to your eyes. Another change I made? Adjusting the lighting in my home. I swapped out harsh bulbs for softer, warmer lights, and it made reading and cooking so much easier. Plus, I've made a habit of using the 20-20-20 rule. Every 20 minutes, I look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. It helps reduce strain, especially if you're reading or using screens. Remember, your eyes are one of the most important tools you have for experiencing the world. Taking care of them means you'll enjoy more of life's beauty for longer. When I was 40, I could carry 2 grocery bags in each hand without a second thought. By 65, I noticed that even lifting a single bag made me pause. That was a wake-up call. Muscle loss, or sarcopenia, is something most people over 65 face. But here's the good news. It's not irreversible. I started incorporating light strength training into my routine. Just a few dumbbell exercises or resistance bands. To my surprise, it wasn't about bulking up. It was about maintaining the strength to do simple things like opening jars, climbing stairs, or playing with my grandkids. My balance improved too, which drastically reduced the risk of falls. Another game changer was stretching. Every morning I spend 10 minutes stretching my arms, legs, and back. It's like oiling a rusty hinge. It keeps everything moving smoothly. Yoga became another favorite. Don't worry, you don't need to be flexible to start. Even simple poses like sitting and stretching your legs help keep you mobile. One more tip: get up and move every hour, especially if you're sitting for long periods. I call it my movement break. I walk around the house, climb a flight of stairs, or do a few standing squats. It's those little bursts of activity that keep your muscles awake. Muscle strength isn't about looking strong. It's about living strong. It's about independence, about being able to enjoy your life without needing constant help. I'll be honest with you, aging isn't just about the body. It's a battle of the mind too. After 65, I found myself reflecting on life more deeply. Sometimes that led to joy, and other times it brought sadness or regret. That's when I realized how important emotional resilience is. One thing that changed my perspective was journaling. Every night I write down 3 things I'm grateful for. It could be as simple as a sunny day or a kind word from a stranger. Gratitude rewires your brain to focus on the positive, and believe me, it's a powerful tool. Another key? Staying socially connected. Isolation is one of the biggest challenges for people our age. I made it a point to join a book club and attend community events. Even a 10-minute call with an old friend can lift your spirits in ways you can't imagine. One of the toughest lessons I learned was letting go of things I couldn't control. Whether it's how others behave or life's unexpected challenges, I remind myself of the Stoic principle. Focus only on what you can influence. It's liberating. Lastly, laughter became my best medicine. I started watching old comedy shows, reading humorous books, and even cracking silly jokes with my family. It's incredible how laughter can dissolve stress and bring everyone closer. Emotional health is like a muscle. It gets stronger the more you work on it. It's not about avoiding challenges, but learning how to face them with grace. Let me ask you something. How often do you think about your bones? If you're like I was, probably not much until they start creaking like an old wooden floor. After 65, this becomes a daily reality for many of us. I learned the hard way that staying active is non-negotiable. I started with lightweight training, just a couple of dumbbells and some resistance bands. You don't need to become a bodybuilder, but those small, consistent efforts strengthen your bones and improve your balance. It's like insurance against falls and fractures. Another game changer was my diet. I began prioritizing foods rich in calcium and vitamin D. Think leafy greens, almonds, and fortified cereals. And don't forget the sunlight. 20 minutes of morning sun can work wonders for your vitamin D levels. Now let me share a little tip. Pay attention to your posture. I used to hunch over when reading or working on my garden. Then, I started doing simple stretches and yoga poses like the cat-cow. It took time, but it reduced the stiffness in my back and made me feel a lot more limber. I also invested in supportive footwear. This might sound trivial, but good shoes are like a foundation for your body. They protect your knees, hips, and even your lower back from unnecessary strain. Here's the reality. Our bones are the framework holding us up. Treat them well, and they'll support you through all the adventures still left in life. As you grow older, one surprising change that might creep in is a diminished appetite. Food that once brought joy might not seem as appealing anymore. But here's the thing. This isn't just a phase or normal aging. It could be your body hinting at something deeper. I remember my friend Walter, who started skipping meals in his late 70s. He claimed he just wasn't hungry anymore. But as time passed, his weight dropped dramatically and his energy plummeted. A quick visit to his doctor revealed he had an undiagnosed thyroid issue that was dampening his appetite. Loss of appetite can stem from several causes. Changes in your sense of taste and smell, underlying health issues like depression, or even medications that suppress hunger. While it may not seem urgent, consistently eating too little can lead to malnutrition, muscle loss, and a weakened immune system, things that are especially concerning as we age. Let's talk about practical action. Start by keeping track of your eating habits. Are you skipping meals frequently or eating much less than before? Make meals more enjoyable by incorporating spices, fresh herbs, or even your favorite childhood recipes. Sometimes, a splash of nostalgia can reignite your interest in food. Also consider smaller, nutrient-dense meals spread throughout the day, rather than 3 large ones. Let me tell you why it matters. Food is your fuel, and without adequate nutrition, your body can't repair itself or keep its systems running smoothly. Eating well is one of the simplest, yet most profound acts of self-care you can practice. Loss of appetite is more than just skipping meals. It's your body waving a small flag that says, "I need attention." Let's continue to uncover these signals and see how we can respond wisely. Have you noticed your hands or feet feeling unusually cold, even when the rest of your body feels warm? This is more than just needing a thicker pair of socks. It's your body trying to tell you something about your circulation. I'll never forget my neighbor Martha, who constantly complained about icy toes. She chalked it up to the weather until her doctor discovered she had peripheral artery disease, PAD, a condition that restricts blood flow to the extremities. What seemed like a harmless annoyance turned out to be an early warning sign of something more serious. Cold hands and feet can signal a variety of issues, from poor circulation and anemia to thyroid problems or even diabetes. As we age, our blood vessels may not function as efficiently, making it harder for blood to reach the furthest points of the body. While this can be common, it's not something to ignore. Let's talk about practical action. Start by making simple adjustments, like keeping your extremities warm with gloves or thermal socks. Gentle exercises such as hand stretches or a short walk can improve circulation. But if cold extremities persist, it's worth discussing with your doctor. They might check for underlying causes like PAD or hypothyroidism. Let me tell you why it matters. Proper blood flow ensures your tissues get the oxygen and nutrients they need to function. Ignoring poor circulation can lead to complications down the road, from slow-healing wounds to more severe cardiovascular issues. This is your body's quiet way of saying, "Pay attention to me." Treat those chilly fingers and toes as an opportunity to check in with your health, rather than brushing it off as just an inconvenience. As we age, our bodies become eloquent storytellers. Each ache, change, or sensation a chapter urging us to listen. Every signal, be it frequent fatigue, sudden weight changes, or even something as subtle as cold hands, holds a wealth of wisdom, guiding us toward better care and awareness. I've spent a lifetime learning to pay attention, and if there's one piece of advice I could give you, it's this. Don't dismiss what your body is trying to tell you. These whispers are your body's way of nudging you, saying, "Take care of me, and I'll take care of you." Aging gracefully isn't about chasing youth. It's about understanding the intricate dance of changes and embracing the care your body deserves. The earlier you notice and act on these signals, the better equipped you'll be to live with vitality and purpose. Let's take the time to listen, to nurture, and to honor the years we've been given. After all, every signal is not just a warning, but an invitation to thrive. If today's insights resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Have you experienced any of these signs? How are you adapting to what your body is telling you? Your stories could inspire others. Don't forget to subscribe to John the Stoic. Your support fuels my passion for sharing wisdom and practical advice to help us all age gracefully and live our best lives. Hit that subscribe button and join me on this incredible journey of understanding and growth. See you in the next video.